There's one mental framework that changed how I approach everything: goals, projects, business, life. And once it clicks, you start doing things differently. You start approaching goals, tasks, projects, everything in a new light. It's called the 80-20 rule. Most people have heard of it, but most people aren't actually applying it through their daily lives. Here's the core idea: 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. That's it. That's the whole thing. Pareto figured this out over 100 years ago, and it applies to almost everything. 20% of your customers generate 80% of revenue. 20% of your activities drive 80% of your growth. 20% of your team produces 80% of your output. The numbers aren't always exact, but the principle always holds. How it changed my life. When I first learned about this framework, it genuinely changed how I operate. Before this, I was chasing perfection. I wanted everything done right, everything finished, everything had to be polished before I moved. And you know what that got me? Slow, stuck, spinning my wheels. Any goal I set, any project I start, any task I sit down and do, the first question I ask: what is the 20% that gets me the 80% result? That question cuts through everything. It forces you to find the highest leverage move, the action that actually moves the needle, not busy work, not the stuff that feels productive, the thing that actually matters. Right? One right move, everything else stands because of it. Here's the mindset shift that goes with it: completion over perfection, progress over perfection. Most people never ship because they're waiting for perfect. They're tweaking, adjusting, second guessing. But perfect is the enemy of done. And done beats perfect every time. When you focus on the 20%, you get moving faster, you get results faster. And here's the thing: real feedback only comes from real action. You learn more from launching something at 80% than from planning something at 100%. So how do you actually apply this? Well, start with whatever you're working on right now. A goal you want to hit, a project on your plate, a problem you're trying to solve. Ask yourself 3 questions, all right? 1, what are all of the possible actions I could take here? 2, which of those actions will produce the most significant result? 3, am I actually doing those things? Or am I filling time with everything else? Most people already know the 20%. They just don't prioritize it. They get distracted by the comfortable stuff, the low stakes tasks, the things they feel productive but don't actually move the business. The 80-20 rule is really a prioritization framework. It's saying stop treating everything as equal because everything is not equal. Here's my challenge to you. Take one area of your business right now, one area of your life, marketing, sales, operation, whatever. Ask yourself, what is the 20% of the activity that is actually driving the result? Then look at how you're spending your time honestly. I bet there's a gap. Where's the gap? That gap is your opportunity. Stop chasing perfect. Start chasing progress. Find the 20% and go all in on it. Completion over perfection. Progress over perfection. Find your 20%. That's the game. If this is different for you, share it with someone on your team who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper on how we can apply this to other businesses or projects or problems like yours, reach out. This is what we do. We help you grow. We help businesses grow, All right. Like, subscribe. You know what to do. Thanks.